Okay, so how do you answer this homework assignment? And I'm going to take this section of the video and break it out into a separate video and upload it as how to upload homework assignments. Anyway, if you try to edit this, nothing will happen because it's just the viewer. So what you do is copy the whole thing, swipe the whole thing, right-click copy, and then bring up your favorite editor. For this demonstration, it's just Notepad, but you don't have to use, you use any editor you want, Microsoft Word or ODF, LibreOffice ODF or whatever, and then right-click, paste, like that. And now you can go to each question and then type your answer, like that, there. And then go to question 2, and then type your answer, like that, and just keep on going. And now, for here, I'm going to say save early, save often, because what if your dog pulls out your charger and then you lose everything? So what you should do is file, save as, and then whatever. If you just give it some random number, then in a few weeks you're going to look at that file and say, I have no idea what this is about. So you really should give every file you ever make some meaningful name, like HE102, 102 homework 1. How about that? Save. And I happen to know that it's going to be saved in my documents folder, but it will save somewhere else. Okay, question? For your own needs, because once you submit it, it'll always show your name as the submitter. Okay, so now you have this file. You go back to the assignment page here, and then I'm in the student view. Good. So when you scroll further down, you'll see this dotted box. So what you do is you click and drag into the dotted box like that, and then you click submit, and then submitted successfully, and then you'll also get an email saying you just submitted successfully. Congratulations. There, that's it. Now that's just one way to upload homework to this, submit homework to this page. There are other ways, and if the way that I just showed you doesn't work or has a problem, then email me for advice, and if I can't answer it with a simple email, I'll reply suggesting we should have a Zoom meeting. Everybody has a webcam, right? So just tell me a day and time you are available. I'll verify that I have, see, I just got a notification that I submitted. Then I will set up, I'll make sure I have no conflict, and then set up a Zoom meeting, and then you will share your screen so I can watch you step through the thing and see if there's any other way to do this. For example, many of you do assignments on the cloud, like Google Docs. And I see the benefit of Google Docs. You're not tied to a specific device. It's uploaded somewhere. You just work on it there. By the way, the cloud just means all your files is on somebody else's computer. Remember that when you work on something very private and confidential, it's on somebody else's computer. That's what cloud means. Anyway, the problem with the cloud and Brightspace is that when you try to submit it that way, like share it that way, I have trouble seeing it. I have to go through extra steps to download it, and that's just annoying. So I'd rather you did not use the cloud. And in fact, there's one more thing that's going to be a problem. And here in the instructions it says it must be readable by Turnitin. Turnitin is an app on Brightspace that checks for plagiarism. When you upload a file, it checks what you wrote with everything that anybody has ever written in the history of mankind. And if there's a match, it'll give me a percentage match of how close it is. If it's lower than 85, don't worry about it, because there's only so many different ways you can answer these questions. So of course there are going to be some similarities, and if you include the questions, like all this stuff, then of course it's going to be a high Turnitin score. So don't stress about it. If it scores over 90 and the color code goes red, that's just a visual indicator for me to go read it line by line. I'll bring up your assignment, I'll bring up the matching file and read it line by line to see, with my human brain, to see if there's possible plagiarism. If there is, then I'm going to email you asking you to explain why this is happening. And if I don't get a satisfactory answer, I first send it to the Office of Community Standards, which is the current name. It used to be called the Office of Academic Integrity, but now it's Community Standards. And they will do the forensics, because I'm not an expert on plagiarism, but they are. And then when they give me a forensics report saying, yes, there was plagiarism, and the student gets a 0, and then if this is a repeat offense, then the student is dropped from the class. And a mark is put on your transcript why you were dropped from the class. So don't get into that. Don't put yourself in that situation. A file that is not readable by Turnitin will not be scored. I'll give it a 0, and in the comments I'll ask you to email me how we can solve this problem. The most common problem is like the way you share it off the cloud, off Google Docs, causes Turnitin to say not readable. Another common problem is if somebody takes a screenshot and sends the screenshot, because that's an image file, and image files are not readable. For example, if I did this and then brought up an image editor like Paint, my favorite image editor, like that, and you try to send this picture to me, then Turnitin will say, I can't read it. I'm going to give it a 0. I'm going to tell you, please email me so we can set up a Zoom meeting to figure out what happened. How do you know if your upload was successful or caused any problem like this? When you upload your assignment, it's going to show you the Turnitin score. As long as there's a Turnitin number, then it was successfully readable when it's uploaded. If it says something like error, Turnitin cannot read, then I'm going to give it a 0. So you can email me and say, I don't understand what's going on, I need help, and then we'll set up a Zoom meeting, figure out what happened. So finally, final points about assignments. All assignments will have the same instructions. Please keep a blank line between answers, like I did here. And the reason for this is just me. I'm getting older, my eyes are getting weaker. I worked on the ambulance as a paramedic for many years here in New York City, but now those tiny medication vials I can't read anymore, even with a magnifying glass. So I thought I'd better get off before I kill somebody. And here, even this, well, I think you can see what's going on. If I take all the blank lines out, you've got this wall of text. I'm sitting in my desk, and it's straining on my eyes. So please leave a blank line between answers. It's simple as doing this. Another instruction here is arrange your answers neatly and professionally. What do I mean by that? I'm not going to stick to some kind of like college rules or composition rules. I don't care about that. Just make it look like you care. That's basically it. Just make it nice and like here. Because some people submit things and they just, I don't know what happened. But it's like somebody tried to write a paper while their little brother was kept interrupting, and then they just submitted what they got. So I'm not going to stick to any kind of composition rules. This is not a intensive writing class. You're taking enough intensive writing classes here. You can worry about that with that professor. I'm not going to do it. If it looks like you don't care, then that's a problem. So if any of these is a problem, the blank space or neatness, then I'm taking off 10%. So homeworks are 10 points each. I'm taking off 1 point for failure to follow directions. And I think that's it, all I wanted to say about homeworks. Any questions? Yes?
So you said something about the cloud, right?
Yes.
So if we have a MacBook, could we still upload it on the computer?
So if you have a MacBook, because that's a common place from the cloud. Like people often upload from MacBook to cloud, Google Docs, and then, so give it a try. So since all assignments are always due Friday 11 p.m., see if you can upload something way before that, like several days before that, and then shoot me an email saying, I just uploaded something, can you see it okay? And I'll go look, and then I say, yeah, it looks good. By the way, I give it a 1 out of 10 because you just threw something together. But you now have several days to upload the full assignment, and now you are confident that the process is proper. And again, I only save the highest score anyway, so you can do that. Any other questions? Okay.